We're back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away.
Boomer Life is on CL 650. I'm your host, Peter Shad, and the theme of this and all of our previous programs, are you where you want to be financially? Because a well-thought-out plan is an integral part of building the life you want for yourself and your family. Financial security makes all the difference. And when we talk about getting our financial house in order, there is some inspiration here. At the end of August, this radio station will be hosting new programming. That means that this show will be going off the air at the end of August. If you like what you hear today and something inspires you to get going on your plan, call Jim Doyle, 604-682-5431. That's 604-682-5431. And today we're talking about some of the ways to lose the fear with Jim Doyle, senior financial consultant with Investors Group Financial Services. Jim, you've been helping people rediscover confidence in their financial futures for 27 years with all the strong credentials to back it up, CFP, CLU, TEP, CDFA, CIWM. And you've said on past shows that many people don't start planning properly because they experience financial fears. What drives those fears?
I've seen a lot of financial fear over the years. Fear of losing money is one of the bigger ones, and it paralyzes investors. A lot of fear is driven by market volatility. Fear is simply a lack of understanding about investing and investments. And these worries prevent us from taking the appropriate level of risk we need in order to achieve long-term financial goals. And another big one, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out, FOMO, as we say on Facebook. And for the uninitiated, fear of missing out is worrying that our friends and neighbors, coworkers and cousins might be having more fun than us, enjoying a better life than us, even though we don't actually know what these people's lives are really like. Basically, FOMO is the 21st century version of keeping up with the Joneses, isn't it? How damaging is that mentality?
Fear of missing out can be a vicious circle. I think it comes down to managing expectations. What do you expect your life to look like? Are you reaching your goals? Are you close to reaching your goals? Today, we have more food, cars, clothes, better health, double the income, bigger houses, and more conveniences than we had 50 years ago. Yet, according to the World Database of Happiness, we have not become any happier.
The World Database of Happiness.
For me, true success and happiness has come from being able to blend the passion, confidence, and optimism I have when it comes to financial planning into being able to make a valuable difference in the lives of others. Time and time again, research on happiness shows that comparing ourselves to others, well, that's some bad juju. Depending on whom I choose to compare myself to, I might feel really good about my financial situation, or I might not feel quite so good.
Well, it's something we all do, compare ourselves to others. We overhear someone talking about how they're struggling to make ends meet, and we feel pretty good about the fact that we're doing okay. And then we see someone else walk through the front door of their amazing palace, and by this I mean a detached home in Vancouver, and we feel pretty bad about our situation.
It's important to remind ourselves that our financial troubles and financial successes are byproducts of our psychological makeup, the choices we've made, the opportunities we've had, our health, and the people in our lives.
Fear of missing out extends to the financial realm, too, where, let's face it, the landscape is ever-changing, and you're competing in a rather crowded community. How do you maintain focus?
We focus on consistently adding value to the client experience. Advisors have a tough job when it comes to understanding and intuiting new competitive dimensions. In my opinion, it comes down to user experience. What do you walk away with? You have to ask yourself whether you're happy with the end result. How did the experience leave you feeling?
Well, if you're missing out on the white glove experience offered by an experienced financial concierge, call Jim Doyle. Maybe you're not that happy with the results you're getting currently. Call Jim. Get a second opinion. 682-5431. That's 682-604-682-5431. So we talk about the white glove experience. Why should someone leave their current advisor to work with you?
Well, truth is, sometimes they shouldn't. It's the truth. However, for many others, there's an opportunity to enhance their financial picture, to bring security and peace of mind to your lives by reducing stress regarding aspects of your financial picture you haven't considered. We offer an opportunity to stress test your financial options and choose the strategies that bring the biggest benefits to you.
What do your most satisfied clients look like, Jim?
I've come to find that my happiest clients are those who define success by having time to focus on what matters most to them, their relationships, making a difference in their community, and good health and fitness.
And how do you help them manage those elements?
We create time so that you can enjoy what matters most to you. If you can plan more with confidence that your planning will take you where you want to go, you will worry less. It's about what your money can do for you, the lifestyle it affords you.
Every single person, we all could use a financial quarterback like you, Jim. Someone to help us create the playbook that will give us the greatest opportunity at winning in life.
I'm often asked whether it's worth the time to hire a financial advisor. After all, we charge money on the money you make. People say you can listen to the news or find information on the internet about how and where to invest, so why shouldn't I keep that fee for myself?
Well, we know from listening to you in the past that financial planning decisions extend well beyond where you invest and how you invest. So what do you then say to people who ask whether it's worth the associated costs to work with a financial advisor?
I let them know that the problem starts when we attempt to quantify our decisions without being in possession of all the facts. Do you know how long you're going to live? Do you know what the inflation rate is going to look like in 20 years, give or take? I also let them know pretty clearly that good financial decision-making enhances your lifetime standard of living.
Well, we said it before, by 290%. If someone told me that I could be increasing my lifetime standard of living by 290%, well, you'd have to, escort me out of the office after hours. I wouldn't want to leave. But if people heard this messaging more often, that 290%, over the long term, we're talking 15 years or longer, that advised families build more wealth, 290% more wealth, people would be taking financial planning far more serious, wouldn't they?
Well, 290% is an exciting number, and it really proves that there is value in comprehensive planning and good financial decision-making.
Where specifically, Jim, does that value come from?
Well, the value can be found in tax benefits, tax deferral strategies, understanding how to use taxes to your advantage is one of the biggest advantages that I can offer. And then, of course, we construct best practices when it comes to cash flow management, debt management, financial risk management, and overall maintenance of good investment decisions.
So perhaps advised clients build more wealth because they have access to better strategies.
If I could put it this way, according to studies released by financial reporting services Vanguard and Morningstar, the overall impact of good advice adds about 3% to long-term returns.
All right, I want that. How do we get this 3%?
The 3% comes from three separate strategies: tax efficiencies, rebalancing, and portfolio management. Now, if you could break it down this way, okay, you can add up to 0.75% based on how you choose to invest in taxable and non-taxable advantaged accounts. You can add a further 0.35 of 1% that could come from rebalancing portfolios back to your original strategic allocation. You can add an additional 0.7 of 1%, deciding where to draw assets from, and by this I mean where you choose to take money from based on whether it's tax deferred or taxable. It's about meeting your needs while paying the least amount of tax.
Well, that is the value of advice right there, tax planning. Where does it make the most sense tax-wise to take your money from? Which account and at what point in time?
Well, beyond the 3%, you can see up to an additional 1.5% return by staying invested during periods of market volatility. Part of what you pay your advisor to do is keep you invested during the hard times, to provide support and motivation to remain invested during down markets.
4.5% you talked about there, especially 4.5% compounded long-term, is nothing to sneeze at here. If you want access to these kinds of strategies, Boomer Life goes off the air later this month, so remember this number or take it down, 604-682-5431 for Jim Doyle, 604-682-5431.
We're really just scratching the surface here. Consider the inexperienced investor. They tend to overlook taxation issues by keeping the same asset allocation for both tax-deferred and taxable accounts and then withdrawing proportionately from them. Efficient tax planning would first have you maxing out your tax-free accounts, like your TFS-8, followed by tax-deferred accounts, like your RSPs, followed by tax-preferred accounts, such as your non-registered accounts. It comes down to knowing when and how to offset taxable capital gains with losses.
Just to review, because that's really important, when it comes to withdrawing money, Jim says, look to taxable accounts first with an eye to capital gains and losses, then by tax-deferred accounts, RRSP'd, followed by withdrawing money from your TFSA's, tax-free savings accounts, last. These strategies are ways to keep as much money in your pockets and give less to the taxman.
And I might add, we're talking in general terms here today. To get the best results for your situation, you need to look at your whole financial picture, as well as your spouse or partner, not to mention consulting with a tax expert.
If you're looking to keep more of your money and give less to the taxman, call Jim Doyle, and he can walk you through strategies that will work for you. 604-682-5431. And keep in mind, Boomer Life and all of its valuable free advice here is going off the air. This is our last show for the end of August. So Jim won't be around to remind you every month, and that's why I'm giving his number often, 604-682-5431. You're listening to Boomer Life on CIL 650, and today we're speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. In just a moment, we're going to explore 4 financial pressure points to pay attention to and why a set-it-and-forget-it approach to investment planning may not take you where you want to go. Next on Boomer Life.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.